Hello my fellow gamers and welcome once again to Perafilozof City Skylines videos. Today I'm going to continue building my bedrock city, the city in which I plan to reach 1 million population on the hard mode. If you remember the previous episode, I had some weird traffic issues with these Congo lines here like this piling up, and this pretty much happens because they're trying to change lanes, and then when they do, they are stopping all the traffic, like you can see here. The same can happen when they are trying to get off here, but this was kind of fixed by adding this highway connection here. But as you can see, even though that shows up sometimes, it clears up again very quickly. So that will have to be investigated as to how to fix that problem. But let's see what is on the to-do list for today. I see that I have a lot of residential demand and I could keep expanding out here. I would just need to add up some streets first, but before I do keep expanding, let's see, am I going to be able to cover that new area with services? Very unlikely that the medical clinic will continue covering them. 100% that the firehouse is not going to keep covering them, and the police station isn't gonna cover them either. So if I want to expand, I will need some new services up here. One medical clinic, one firehouse, and one police station. The rest can be filled up with the residential zones. I may also need to place another park up here if I want better coverage. As for the commercial demand, that will be filled in this area. And if I need any more industry, there's plenty room here for the forestry industry to grow. And because I do have some new teams that need to go into these areas, I will need some new connections here for them to be able to get in as well. Over here I will have a one-way going out. While over here I can have a one-way coming in, and that can be transferred then the traffic from here. The need for residential has definitely gone down now that I have zoned so many new areas. They will all have access to water. If I want to increase the coverage, I should do it now. So, as I only have one landfill site down here and it's getting full, I will need to build another one up here for the other part of the city. So let's say I get one over here. That will require a two-way connection with this area. And there we go, fits like a glove. Another service that I will need to expand are the elementary schools, but for now I seem to have good coverage, and as I keep expanding up here with more residential, I will definitely need a new school built. I seem to be running a bit low on water, so I will increase the budget and that should take care of that. The power I have plenty, and I will need a new incinerator to go up here. I do seem to need more commercial buildings and I do have room, so I will zone a little bit more here as these zones have already been filled up. And I can have more forestry industry, so I will continue zoning industry as well. Now the trouble is that by the time I get enough zones up here to connect to the network with a new incinerator, I'm going to run out of power for those areas. So the best way to fix that would be to plant an incinerator, have it start working. Over here, but then get the power from it down to the residential areas over here with some pylons. But before I do get some pylons, I will stretch the residential area as far as it can go to get a little bit closer to that incinerator. I can even get the few extra megawatts that I need for now just by increasing the budget on the power. I do need more industry areas and more commercial areas, and to make sure that they are forestry industry, I do need to increase the size of this district, which I failed to do a moment ago, but let me fix that. And for the residential areas that are getting built over here, I will need some more power. There we go. Still not enough production. This is because this incineration plant has not gotten enough garbage to start producing enough power. So after all, I will have to go with an additional advanced wind turbine. The incinerators can be a constant suppliers of power, but they do need some time to start supplying. An elementary school will be needed very soon up here. Can check the coverage with parks as well. Not bad, although this one here may need to be moved a little bit. That's better. Can keep zoning for more residential, and I will need more industry as well. If this is an entrance, I will need an exit towards the industry. So that will be through here. More forestry industry necessary over here. Okay. I just see where do we connect. Let's see over here. And then a street will go like this. Alright, but I will need an exit for the industry as well. And then this will have to become a two-way. An off-ramp will have to go through here. I have yet to finish changing these streets here to a little bit of a better design. Took my time expanding this part of the city because it's going nicely and smoothly. Everything just keeps on growing at the same rate that I've already started doing down there. Now I'm just adding more at the same streets and just increasing their size, so it's fairly more simple to just keep doing this than to have to go into this part of the city and mess up a lot of streets and destroy a lot of buildings in order to fix up the area. Let me zone some more industry over here. Can keep expanding the residential zones as well. Might need some new parks up here. That's right. I can keep expanding a little bit more now. Just need to figure out which side do I start on. Well, over here I will need an exit for the industry first. Big city, water treatment plants and crematoriums. Alright, then I will have to build some crematoriums. I'll just try and find a spot for them. One over here, and let's say one over here. As for the water treatment plants, well, they are pretty expensive and I do not need to do that yet. But as I do need to expand my sewage anyway, I might as well use this one instead of sewage outflow pipe. That should take care of my water and sewage needs for a while now. As for the power, still plenty, I can keep expanding. As I do have a much higher income now, and I do have a small issue with my fire service coverage, I'm going to increase the budget on it. I already had increased it to 110%, I'll now increase it to 120% to try and reach those places on the edges without having to actually build another one. I can probably do the same for police. And that should provide a little bit better coverage. As for the clinics, I think I'm happy with their coverage. Although the industry might not be covered, but this is specialized industry mostly, and they do not even need the coverage because they won't be going up a level. Probably going to need a fourth elementary school up here, but maybe I will leave a few of them uneducated and then perhaps even make some generic industry here instead of all this forestry industry. This needs to become a two-way. I just need to see how did I solve this issue down here. So a two-way street going through here. Alright, so destroy these. And now to give them entrances from the highway, like so. That does the trick. Any more parks necessary? Well, probably a few. Perhaps one over here. And I probably won't even add any more. The traffic is starting to get on my nerves because of these bloody changes in their lane usage. Look at this. This is stopping traffic constantly and totally whenever they start changing lanes like this. And there's no need for them to keep doing that. But this lane switching is destroying my traffic. Alright, let's disconnect here, disconnect here. See if that's gonna help even a little bit. I'm going to use the heavy traffic ban in this area here because I don't want the heavy cargo trucks to go through this area, but rather just go through here to the industry. And when I look at the traffic on this side and this side, I notice a striking difference because of this problem of lane changing. I do not have that problem on this side, and you know why? Because they only have the exits onto this highway. There are no entrances at the same time as exits of this highway. And there's only lane changing that happens here because there is a way for them to go in two ways, through here and through here. While over here you have this bloody lane changing that is ruining the traffic flow. So what I'm thinking is that maybe I should have just the entrances to this industry area, while the exits would end up being only up here and perhaps one or two here. So I'll put an on-ramp to go through here, if at all possible. There we go. And this area here is not gonna be part of this district because this district stops the heavy traffic from going through here. Why is this generic industry? Oh, I see. I hadn't pushed this through. There we go, now it should turn back to forestry. Did not notice that. Alright, so the trucks are gonna go through here, and they can also exit up here. And I should give them another spot. That's just gonna be a little bit problematic because of this road here. But then again, maybe not if I just do it a little bit differently. Alright, and now I can have these off-ramps going out to the highway like this. We don't even have to have this one over here. This can look a little bit better then. Going through here like this. The question is, can they even get through this area? Well, let's see, this is still agricultural. There's no heavy ban here. There's no road connecting these areas, and that could be the problem. Yep, I do not have a connection through here. There's no connection through here. How do I get this? Well, I suppose that if I were to unplug all the exits now, leave only the entrances, these guys down here can take their cargo down to these two connections, while all the guys up here can take their cargo up to those connections up there. Nope, still the same problem with lane changing. I think the trick is that when they are exiting, it's much easier to exit onto a highway and just join the traffic, because most of the traffic already uses the second and the third lane and you're just entering the first. While when they're supposed to exit, they have to turn into the first lane, which is already maybe used by somebody, and then they create these problems like this. Just like that. So I think that I will actually have the exits over here onto this entrance highway, and then have the entrances somewhere else. Well, I will obviously have to spend some more time tweaking this traffic and finding how exactly do I make this work without them creating these big traffic jams. So thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for more.